And hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And I've had Cole's Elemental Earth Mech here for about a month now. Actually, exactly a month at the time I'm recording this. It's February 1st. And I got him on January 1st. And I pretty much had this opinion pretty much ever since I finished building both Cole's and Kai's mechs here from last month. That I think they're overrated. Don't get me wrong, these aren't bad sets, and I don't own Sora, so I don't really know how if I like hers or not. So I don't really know if I like hers more than I like Kai's and Cole's or not, or if hers will just be the same. I think the reasoning for that is for one, like I've been saying for like the past 2 months at this point, wrists. None of these have wrists, which really limits their articulation. I don't understand why they don't have wrists. But I also just kind of think that the designs aren't really like too special. I'm like, again, don't get me wrong. I think they're well designed. Just I think they might just be a bit too plain, boring. Maybe not boring, but definitely just nothing all too special. I don't think. So now, Kai's I'm going to keep together at least for now. But with Cole's, I thought it would be fun to combine Cole's mech with another Cole set here that I don't think is all too great. And this is Cole's Evo Dragon. It came out on January 1st, 2023. And this is like the first Cole Dragon that we've gotten since like 2011 when the theme first started. And I don't think it's a great set. The main thing is the articulation. I do have a review of this set that I recorded like months ago. Like back when I got this set in like it was either March or May of last year. So I am hoping to upload that at some point. And my original plan for this was to upgrade it and just make it a better dragon. But I never really ended up doing that. All I ended up ever doing was just making the head better and giving it and making it so you can actually move the head. I just put a ball joint in there. It was actually insanely easy to do that. So yeah, that's the only thing I really did. Now I'm going to try to use maybe only parts from these two sets, but I doubt that will happen because I do want to make this good. I do want to make this really good since I do feel bad kind of taking this apart since I've only had it for a month. So if I'm taking this apart and this, I guess, I want to make sure I make something good out of these two sets. Or also, if you want to know how I attach Cole's hammer onto the back here, it's just a Technic pin with a stud there, and then attached there. But yeah, with that 4-minute intro out of the way, I am going to go ahead and take these two apart and get to building. Okay, so I've been building for about an hour, and I've made this, but I think I'm gonna scrap it and maybe not completely start over, but it's like seriously rethink this design. I think I went way too big. I think I just went way too big. Here are the pieces now. I would have to like with the torso this size, and like not even finished. So maybe like half of the torso being this size. That would mean that the arms and legs would have to be huge and be really sturdy. And I don't think I have the parts for that, or even like the skill to build a mech this big. But I do like this. You can see I have two ninjas side by side here. And if we take them out, there's what it looks like without them. So I do like that I was able to fit two side by side, but I think I just went way too big. And also, I still want to use this cockpit piece, and this is just way too big. Or this is way too small for a mech this size. And okay, just over a day later, here's the final product. I am really happy with how this turned out, but unfortunately, I was not able to use either the wings or the horn pieces here. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to use either of those. I also didn't use all four of these new armor pieces here. I did, though, use all four Evo joints, this cockpit and printed tile, the flag, and both the top and bottom dragon jaws. I did also keep the hammer from the original set. This is the exact same hammer build. I didn't change that at all. But I hate to say it, but I kind of understand why they didn't give these mechs wrists. At least on Cole's. Because see, I did give it a wrist. There is a mixer ball joint here. I did give it a wrist. But this hammer is fairly heavy, and it does make it kind of harder to pose. It's not too bad, but like it is. But this hammer is pretty heavy, so it does make it a bit harder to pose. So maybe that's why they didn't give these wrists, these mechs wrists. But then that still doesn't explain Kai's, Sora's, and Lloyd's, because their weapons aren't nearly as heavy as Cole's hammer. Though I don't have Sora's or Lloyd's, so I can't really say for sure for them, but their weapons don't look as... But their weapons aren't nearly as big as this. Okay, going off articulation, he has ball joints at the shoulders, mixer ball joints at the wrist here, ball joints at the legs, knee joints. These knees are done the pretty much the exact same way as they were done on my Samurai X mech, which were heavily inspired by the Empress mech. And then mixer ball joint at the feet. Now I will say that these feet are kind of small, especially compared to the rest of the mech. But I kind of love it. I don't know, you got this big, like, bulky mech up at, like, the torso, and then it just has tiny feet. It's still able to stand fairly well, so I kept these pieces right here for the shoulder pads, like on the original set, but unlike the original set where they were like locked down so you couldn't move them, and now you couldn't move them at all, this time you can move them so that they don't limit the shoulder movement at all. You can still move the shoulders however you want, and it doesn't limit the movement. Here's what it looks like with Cole out of the cockpit. Just like that. Pretty simple. So you're probably wondering what this up here is, and you've probably already figured out that this is the top jaw. That is the top jaw from Cole's Evo Dragon. And at first, I wasn't a huge fan of how this looks, but it's really grown on me in the past day. I love how this looks. You can see it doesn't fully cover Cole up, so you can still see him peeking out there. But I think that just makes it look even cooler. It kind of makes it more realistic because you have Cole, he's being covered up here, but he can still see out. You can still see him in there, he can still see out, And I think that looks so cool. I think this looks awesome. I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. With how this turned out. I think this looks amazing. But you can also just like very easily, you can just very easily remove the top jaw here if you don't want it. And I still think that this looks good. I do think that it does feel like there's something missing here. See. And I also think that the back of this looks pretty good as well. Not the best, but fairly good. Turning around here, you see I was able to attach the bottom jaw here to the back of the mech, which I think turned out pretty good. Even if it can be knocked off fairly easily. Like it's not gonna fall off if you just like pick it up, but if you push on it hard enough, it will fall off. So what I did was I took like two of these plates here. I like sandwiched them together using this Technic pin or this axle. I stuck that axle here into the bottom of the jaw here, just like that, and then I put and I just attached that to the back here, and I think it worked out pretty well. And see this is also where I attached the flag. But yeah, no, I am really, really happy with how this turned out. With that, I would really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.